Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Climb Together podcast, the very first episode. Look at that. Chat's going crazy. Spot beam with the 25 bits. Got Jaded in here, Riz. All the people. Anywho, I digress. Welcome. Now, if you're watching this post 12:05 p.m. EST on November 17th, 2021, the reason there are chats on the screen is so that you can follow along. Left is my chat, ToNaGeScorp. Right is Deception's chat. But yeah. So this is the Climb Together podcast with your two hosts. We'll be here every time. We have Deception the Rapper.
Oh yeah, let's go.
And then yours truly, ToNaGeScorp. We might have guests. We might not. It just depends on, well, if we have friends other than each other. And
okay, the way you made that sound. All right.
No, I joke. We might have guests, we might not. It just depends on like whether we can get somebody for that week. But this is gonna be like, I just hit my mic. We're gonna try to make this like a weekly thing. So
oh yeah.
You know, whatnot. But what's up, everybody? Welcome.
Mr. Burner hit me with bits now. Let's go.
Oh yeah, let's go. We got so hyped in the chat. Wrist with the 38 corgi biddies. Oh, they're so cute. Oh.
We're vibing.
She just told Spot Beam to get fucked.
That's a fantastic way to start the podcast.
Oh my god, Riz, I love you so much. I cannot. Anywho. It feels bad, man. Rip.
Oh, more biddies out of Mr. Burner. Oh my god.
Hey, let's go. We got hype in the chat, you know? People are like, I'm excited. I'm excited. I mean, chat's excited. So I
think YouTube, just letting you know, you can get in on this, by the way.
Oh yeah, like we if you guys follow us on Twitter, it'll be linked in the description of this video. All our links and everything. If you like go follow us there, or you go follow us on Twitch, like just follow us on Twitch. I mean, we talk about it all the time. Literally.
Yeah, it's literally like a command in our chats.
Exactly, like
we've been plastering it everywhere for the past like week.
Exactly, and we'll do that continuing going forward for everything. So if you like don't want to miss a podcast, you know, stop by the streams, follow us on Twitter, get in our Discords.
Other stuff like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that.
All that other stuff. Whenever I figure it out, it'll be on there, and it'll be all the episodes in order. Because apparently Deception thinks that I won't upload them in order because I don't know why.
I'm just saying. I'm just sending.
I'm just saying. Whatever. Anywho, so we've got a couple. So we wrote down a couple topics, you know, to talk about today. Because you know, like Deception and I, we have a nice natural way of conversating with each other, if that's a word. I don't know if it is or not, but we're gonna go with it. But we wrote down a couple topics just kind of like keep us on track because there's a few things we want to talk about on the podcast. Just because. But yeah, this podcast is gonna be like mostly. It'll be pretty much 99% gaming. Deception Risk says that they love you too.
Let's go, Risk.
Let's go.
I love Risk more than you, by the way.
Ouch, that kind of hurt. Low key, that kind of hurt. Anywho, I mean, understandable though. It's Risk. Come on. Anywho, I digress. Yeah, so this podcast will be pretty much 99% gaming. We'll talk about some other stuff with time, but it'll be mostly gaming. You know, within the gaming, it'll be like, you know, Call of Duty esports, Call of Duty in general, some other games, Raw Nation.
Stuff that we feel like is relevant to the podcast. Relevant to us.
Deception stealing your girl. I feel like he could though. Would I let him? No. Would he? I hope not. But he's got some smooth moves. I'd have to like Deception. Are we gonna fight over Risk? Is that what's gonna happen?
Yeah, can we be the third undercard? Can it be Crim versus Myth? Can it be whoever else was fighting and then us?
Yeah. Man, we keep like getting like anywho. Any freaking who.
The beauty of a podcast.
I know, especially one that's live too, because you know we got chats and you know we like to talk about things.
Yeah. we need to talk about how Climb
Wait.
Together happened.
Oh well, yeah.
We need to talk
We got a
about
couple things. We got a
we
couple
need an
things.
origin story.
Well, yeah, we're gonna talk about a couple things, obviously. Um, but that's pretty much. So I think we should get into Climb Together and how it happened. I think Deception, maybe you start it, and like how we met in the gaming space, and then I'll
Oh
delve
yeah.
a little bit more into Climb Together and what that means, and then we'll like decide and like talk about like the podcast itself. It's like our
Yeah.
origin story.
Yeah, so um
That was a not planned segment during the podcast. Things are getting heated. True. Did you see that Rich told us go fight, fight, fight?
yeah. So, about the whole Climb Together stuff, as a preface to the Climb Together stuff, Tone and I both share a love for Taylor Reggie, who's also a Twitch streamer, and she has a fantastic community. Amazing community, by the way. And the way that I met Tone was through Taylor because one day Taylor raided Tone when she was playing Outbreak for the first time. And I ended up just talking to Tone because of that, because I'm like a huge zombies guy. I mean, even though Vanguard Zombies kind of sucks this year, uh, I still enjoy zombies as much as I ever have. But I started talking to Tone through that, and then I just kept coming back because Tone is an amazing person, by the way.
Oh, stop. Stop. Stop hyping
But
me
I did.
up.
That's why, because I really did. Like I kept coming back because of that. And then, uh, Tone, uh, Tone basically persuaded me to start streaming. Once I got fiber and stuff. So, uh, you can thank Tone for this podcast even happening and for me even being able to stream.
Dude, you're making me tear up a little bit. Not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, like in the middle of like us slowly like becoming better homies, and before I was even in Raw Nation, and before I even started streaming, actually, we had the idea, like, because we talked about in stream, like, the idea of like everybody like supporting each other and all that, and then Tone just magically coined the phrase. She was like, yeah, we just gotta climb together, you know. I was like, wait.
I know. I was pretty clever. I mean, like, when it comes to like, when you see it a lot, and especially in streaming and on Twitch and stuff like that, you have like a group of people, right? They start out streaming together, they play every day, they hang out, and then one of them blows up for whatever reason, whether they get a huge raid from somebody and then just, people stay, or
Like
they,
PG with apathy.
yeah, like it's just like certain things, like sometimes that happens, right? Where they
Yeah.
climb to popularity super quick. Why? Because they got discovered, right? So, but a lot of the times when they do that, they go off and play with like bigger streamers that match their level, and they leave their friends behind that are like, super small streamers that average less than 5 or less than 10 or whatever the number may be. And they learn from, you know, then they don't share that information. They don't share, you know, what exactly did it. Was it posting 3 times a day to TikTok? Was it, streaming on a consistent schedule? Was it going in and networking in other streams? Like whatever the case may be, they don't share that information because they're like, my viewers, so you must not take my viewers.
Yep.
And so
That's how it is.
that's literally how it is. Um so my thing is like, you don't do that to your homies. Like, you don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, if one homie succeeds, the rest of the homies succeed too, because once there's plenty of viewers to go around. Like, how many people are Nick Merck streams up on Twitch? Like 50K.
Yeah, and like if we even got like a tenth of those people to show up in our streams, we'd blow up.
Yeah, like it'd be fine. Bruce
And I
cannot
mean,
stand me.
it's the thing about Tone again is like the whole time that even before I was in Raw Nation and more so after I got into Raw Nation because there's some things she couldn't share when I wasn't there, but
Mm-hmm.
she helped me a lot with a lot of like little tips and tricks about Twitch streaming. I think I've learned a lot.
I
And
mean, and then you just started like a couple months ago, and the fact that you've grown this much is so crazy.
oh, I was so ready for the grind too. Like I knew that like grinding for affiliate would be pretty difficult. Um, and like the fact that like you, Tone, and a whole bunch of other people helped me get there in like 10 days was wild. It just made me want to do it even more. I already liked streaming enough when I didn't have affiliate, but when I got it that fast and I saw all the support, I was like, yeah, I want to do this for a long time.
Yeah, that's the thing though, is like I'm like so proud of you, dude. You literally got so like sometimes like for me personally, it took me months and months and months to get Twitch affiliate. You got it in 8 days because that you need 8 days of streaming, and you got it. Like that's pretty awesome, dude.
I had a lot of help. I mean, I would think that I mean, and obviously since this is the Climb Together podcast, there are some things we could probably share to the viewers about like networking and all that. But I
Mm-hmm.
think I did a pretty good job at like networking and getting with like other streamers and you know, and I did it in a good way too.
Yeah.
Like everybody that I talk to and everybody I play with and everybody that I tune in their streams, like I actually want to be friends with them. I don't just I didn't just use them to boost my stream and I'm like, okay,
Cloud
I don't
chaser.
hate you now, you know?
Yeah, Deception's not a cloud chaser, guys. That's pretty much what he's saying. Um.
Except when I get in a lobby with a pro, that might change.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm
I
just
mean, I
kidding.
mean, come on. I mean, at that point, is it really
Yeah, I mean,
cloud
Dashy
chasing?
joined my lobby and got like 6 kills and left, and I was sad, bro.
Yeah. So but yeah, then we were like, I was like, yeah, I really want to do a podcast for like forever. Like I have a couple like ideas, like hopefully maybe I'll do another one on top of this one, maybe, my own, maybe
Oh
one
yeah,
with
this
someone
does not
else.
have to
Like,
be the
yeah,
only podcast.
yeah, I mean, like I've got ideas. I've been in a content idea factory for the past like 3 years of my life.
Like,
Um,
I was in that factory with you before I met you, before I started streaming.
yeah, we
Like,
just did, like we were working on opposite sides of the factory, and like we met
I've
at like
wanted to
lunch one
be
day.
like I'm telling you, I've watched like thousands of hours of YouTube videos and streams. Like I've wanted to do this for so long, and now that I have the resources, I'm capitalizing on.
Oh yeah. But anyway, so I was like talking, I was like, I'd love to do a podcast. And I'm like, and then Deception's like, yo, we could do it together. And I'm like, yo, that's a great idea. And then like we were thinking, like, what would we name it? What would we name it? Like that would, cause like the podcast, like we talk about stuff like all the time. We talk about CDL, we talk about CDL a lot. So
Yeah,
like
we literally have been in
repping.
podcasts every time we play together.
Pretty much, except for
Basically.
there's gameplay. It's not like a
Yeah.
formal setting like this.
Yeah.
But we so I was like, what would we name it? And then we've had this saying, climb together. Like I have it hashtagged in my stream all the time. I hashtag it whenever I go live. And it's just like, it's like a motto that I kind of like live by now personally. And I kind of want to like spread that message too. And I feel like, like a podcast would be like a cool way to spread it. So we're like, climb together podcast. And then I put together this logo and here we are, doing the first episode. Like it's pretty cool. It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
It's gonna be a good time. I hope we get a bunch of people on this as we keep growing and get all the homies that are already homies with us in here. And
Meet
I
some
hope
new
we just
homies.
yeah, I hope we have a good time and we get a lot of people on this because it's gonna be super fun.
Oh yeah.
I'm really excited.
Me too. Me too. Me too. It won't always be a just audio podcast. Deception has not done a face reveal, so it's just kind of weird if it's just my face, and then his voice. So I decided to do chats instead. And then once he does his face reveal, eventually when that'll be, I don't freaking know.
Yeah, that's on you guys. Y'all gotta want it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
want it.
I'm
Actually,
not giving
I've
it out
already
for free.
gotten a face reveal, but
Oh
not
yeah.
one publicly. Anywho,
I'm not giving it out for free. You gotta hype everything up in
oh yeah,
this industry.
oh yeah,
So.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Um, but yeah. So hopefully one day we'll both have cams and it'll be like like when a lot of podcasts went virtual when the pandemic first hit, like the Courage and Nate Chat Show type things. That'll be more of our setup and not just two chats and like a logo. But we're newbies at this, so with every episode, improvements will be made.
Yeah, that's one thing that I actually watched one of the people I've been watching that plays zombies. They talked about this, and uh he was talking about like when you start, you just have to know that in the beginning your stuff is going to be bad. And not that like what we're doing right now is bad, it's just when we're like 2 years down the line and we have face cams up and we're talking to hopefully a lot bigger people, and we're like a bigger podcast, we're gonna look back at this and we're like, okay, that was bad, but at least it was the start.
Yeah, you gotta. Everyone's got to start somewhere, and this is our somewhere. So you know, it'll one day we'll look back and we'll watch this podcast and we'll be like, damn, we did that. That was us. We
Yeah,
did
yeah,
that.
yeah,
That
yeah.
was us. It kind of like whatever.
We'll be
So
sitting in the big studio and chilling
oh,
and looking.
imagine,
We'll be
yo,
watching the podcast and we'll be
imagine.
like, oh
Oh
man.
my God, yes, 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 yes.
Somebody clip
Alrighty.
that by the way
I
in the
know, I
Twitch
know. Yeah,
chat.
yeah,
So
yeah. Put it in the Twitch chat, and then we'll, post
yeah,
it later.
so we
Save it for later.
can
Yeah, like a
we can look
benchmark.
back on it. It's like the
Yeah.
tone getting into phase. You just wait.
Okay. Anywho, I think we should kind of go on to our next topic. It's pretty broad, right? Right, pretty
Yeah,
broad.
yeah, yeah.
But like CDL current events. So, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one, Deception, and then I'll just weigh in.
So actually, like if you want breaking news, tone, this is something you didn't know. London announced their roster yesterday.
London did. You wanna know what
Yep.
else I saw yesterday? Uh, sorry, I just saw my chat. I'm gonna
Wait,
Hey.
wait. Okay, I saw that. Okay.
Yeah, I saw. Oh, wait, before you say that, I saw that Looney's a coach now for Rocker.
Yes,
I saw
I
that. Did he
saw
like
that.
retire or
I
something,
didn't.
or is he
I don't
just
remember if I
taking the year
saw the
off?
announcement or whatever, but I I didn't know he was a coach, and then I was watching team scrims because I'm trying to learn everything I can
Yeah.
as a competitive player myself, and I saw him in the Codcaster when they were playing when Optic was playing Rocker, and I was like, oh, he's a coach now. That's sick. Yeah, I think he did retire. Either that or he's taking a break, like formal.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be a mixture. It could be like a mixture of both things. Maybe he just doesn't like this COD or is not very good at it, so he decided to take the year off. But anyway, back to what you're saying. The new Ravens roster. Give us the
So
lowdown.
So yesterday, it was confirmed that the new roster for the London Royal Ravens is Trey Zero, Gizmo, Nasty, and Afro, who's already on the team. So they added Gizmo, Nasty, and Zero, who was absolutely insane in Black Ops 4. I'm super glad that he's back in the league.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like they have had like a rough they've had a rough CDL like season and seasons in general. Like that's like for Ravens, like they like won like didn't they win like the first year like once? Like they won one tournament and then they were like
I
just
don't remember if
crap
they ever
after
won,
that.
but I know they made a super good run at COD Champs and got fourth.
Yeah, I don't know how the heck they did that, Loki.
I don't know. It seems like that's the story of like every EU team that's ever played in COD. There's
Mm-hmm.
always one EU team that shows up at champs and they're just playing different.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just kind of weird. I don't know. I'm wanting to see more competition this year out of CDL
Oh, I
personally.
think you'll see it. I mean, obviously, like there are some teams that are worse than others, but I think overall the competition has went up even further. Like everybody thought the competition was high in Cold War. Like it's even crazier this year. There's so many good players on all these teams, and it's like pretty evenly dispersed. Like I mean, look at Seattle Surge. Seattle Surge with their new roster, like 4-0'd phase and hardpoint scrims a couple days ago. I mean,
Damn. Well, thing is,
they're
last year
looking good.
Phase was just so like I didn't even watch because I didn't even watch the champs because I had a feeling like I was like Phase probably gonna win. What was I right? Yeah, I freaking was. Like I don't want that again this year. That's what I that's what I'm hoping and praying for because watching competitive Call of Duty, it's when it's competitive, it's such like a rush of adrenaline
Yeah,
constantly.
when I think about like the best competitive Call of Duty we've seen since the CDL started, I think of Stage 5 last year.
Chris, thank you so much for the
Because
bits. I
like
appreciate you. Hearts.
almost every upset that could have possibly happened
Hmm.
happened in Stage 5 last year when
Yeah,
they went back
like
to LAN with fans.
oh yeah, like it just and the fact I mean like yeah like we're fully land this year. I'm guessing right.
I don't think they've announced anything, but there's been some like heavy leaks that it is gonna be either full LAN or like majors on
Mm-hmm.
LAN and like online league. But like now the custom games in the online league have dedicated servers like across the board, so it shouldn't be as bad as it was last year. And also like there's been some leaks surfacing since COD Champs ended that we might not even be doing majors this year. That there might be, since like COVID's starting to let up a little bit, more people are getting vaccinated and all that.
Mm-hmm.
That the CDL is thinking about going back to a Black Ops 4 style system where they have like lands at like certain places
Yeah.
and they do more of them.
Like the way that they did, where it's like, there was one in Minnesota for the Minnesota Rock, or there's one in New York for the NOSL, like that.
Well, that's what they're thinking. Like, and there's rumors that they might do like a Black Ops 4 CWL style league where instead of having like a bunch of splits leading to a major, they might just do a system where you have like events in the cities where the teams are,
Mm-hmm.
but they count toward like pro points, but instead of like let's say like you like last year's system where they just play a bunch of matches to get seeding for a major and then play the major. Now it's going to
Mm-hmm.
be like a NFL NBA style league where they start the league and it's just one season throughout the whole until COD champs,
Mm-hmm.
and that big overall record is what really counts toward champs this year.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I don't know. I think I mean, we're obviously gonna have to wait and see for, like, confirmation, but I don't know. I really it depends on, like, how bad things get or how good things get. I really do want to, like, go to one though. Low key.
Oh, I was like, I know that the Washington DC team is probably not gonna be a thing this year. Hopefully it
Yeah.
is whenever they expand or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my God, me being in Virginia, I would love to go to a land for DC
Oh yeah.
because that would be the closest one to me, and I've been there before, so it's like feasible for me to get there. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, I
Mine
want
would be
that.
New York. Like, mine would be with NYSL for New York City. I feel like that'd be really cool though, because not only would I be able to go to the event, but like I'd also get to go to New York City again, which is the city. Like, New
Dude,
York
and
City
like
is
imagine if they put
so.
it in like Madison Square Garden or something. Oh my
Okay,
God.
okay, you're getting a little out of yourself there,
Hey,
Deception.
what they did COD champs in 2017 at the Amway Center in Orlando, so
Okay,
it's not out of the question for
not out
them
of
to
the
go to an NBA
question,
arena.
but I don't know. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. Um, damn, we're like continuing through this. Let me see here. Let me see. So I think that was English. Was the Royal Ravens roster the last one to be announced?
Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure every team is announced except for Ravens. Everybody thought Paris would be the last, but they
Nope.
announced already.
So that's it. The teams are the teams. And is there an odd number of teams this year? Then
But right now there's only 11.
okay.
The situation with that deal is NRG, there was rumors and that NRG would be forced to field a roster and that they would pick up a challengers team.
Mm-hmm.
But now that Optic Texas has happened, Envy has picked up the 12th CDL spot and they're looking to sell it to somebody else.
Okay.
But it's not for sure if it's going to be
Well, if
sold.
they don't
I'm
sell it,
guessing
they're
the
gonna have to
league,
field a team then, right?
no, they probably won't because you can't field two CDL spots as one team. So it would either be it's probably either going to be 11 team league or hopefully they sell it to somebody.
I don't know who would be able to buy it. It's like super expensive to get into the CDL.
I mean, I'm thinking when I think about who could buy it, I mean, if the Washington DC deal could probably resurface, maybe them, but it seems like that's fallen through and I don't think they have a chance this year. E United could buy it. They've been like tweeting about it quite a bit. Rise Nation have been tweeting about it. There's a few teams that could probably buy it. It's just where is the interest at there?
Yeah. I mean, like, you look at, like, it's like the teams from Overwatch. Like, I feel like the like the home, like the teams for those, like the main companies that go over those ones. I think that would be like, I think that would be like a good move for some Overwatch teams to move over into Call of Duty, because I feel like Overwatch is kind of falling off a little bit. I know Overwatch 2 is coming in, but I feel like those would be the only organizations that would really have the funds to get into another franchise league because franchise leagues
Well,
are
yeah,
super
and it's
fucking
already an
expensive.
Activision league too.
Yeah,
So I mean,
so
they probably if an Overwatch team that is not already in the league or represented by an org that's in the league wanted in the league, I bet they could probably take priority since they're already Activision. You know.
hmm and since they already have a brand built with like a franchise place, like it'd be super easy because all they do is use same logo and everything, as long as it
Yeah.
abided by the CDL, which it probably does. And then they would have all the people that played Overwatch for them, you know, like all the people that watch them because of Overwatch come over into Call of Duty. I mean, it'd be a smart move, personally. I mean, that's the
I
way
just
I
hope the
see it.
CDL expands. To be
Me
honest,
too. Like I need more than 12 teams,
like I like the
please.
12 teams, but I feel like the only way we get back to a COD champs where every team's in winners bracket is if we have 16. Because right now you could do that, but it would look weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. They need one. It needs to be expanded because it's just there's not enough teams, man. It's not enough
There's
for
not. The
me.
thing is, there's not enough teams and there's too many players.
True.
There's so many good players that got shafted to challengers last year because we went from 5v5 to 4v4.
Oh yeah. And then the year before, we went from CWL to CDL.
Yeah, there were a lot of organizations in general that bowed out once it went to CDL because
Yeah, they couldn't
they
afford
just
it.
couldn't fork up the money and then
Like even
you
100
know
Thieves, like 100 Thieves couldn't do it the first year.
yep
They got it the second year, but they grew a lot. So money comes with growth. Growth.
yep
Oh, English.
exactly.
Man, I love being able to speak English. It's pretty great for me.
I mean,
Alrighty. Oh, do we have anything? Overwatch teams expanding to COD would push the teams we have now to recruit better because of how coordinated those teams are. True.
that is very true.
That is true.
You have a point, Mr. Burner.
Mr. Bernard, you're smart, man. I just want to point that out.
Especially if they're a good team. Like imagine like an Overwatch team comes in with a ton of money from Overwatch and they just pick up like a super squad.
Oh, yeah. I feel like
And
that'd be
then
really cool. I mean, obviously, it wouldn't be like a super squad because a lot of the really, really good players have been picked up already.
I don't
But,
know, I feel like if they paid them enough.
I mean, true. Uh, but I don't know. I feel like the only, like, from like the money standpoint, the only teams that I really feel like in gaming would be Overwatch or maybe like League of Legends teams, but I'm not 100% like well versed in League of Legends, so I don't know for sure.
No,
But
Riss just keeps coming in with the bits and I
Riss
love
is
it.
goaded. Riss is
Riss is the
amazing.
best. We love you, Riss. We gotta get you
We
on the
do love you,
podcast
Riss.
eventually.
We do. We gotta do it like on like Thanksgiving break or like Christmas break when they don't have school.
We might have
Yeah.
to make plans.
Ooh.
Hold on.
Ooh. I mean,
Alright, don't turn into leaks, you know.
oh my goodness. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just think we just I don't know. I want to see the CDL do well because it's COD, but at the same time, like I don't know, man. It's just sometimes I wonder.
A lot of it is money too, because like a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the reason why Paris and London got pretty bad rosters, the last couple of years is because they weren't willing to pay them like a lot. Like Paris, I can almost guarantee you that like I mean I can't say this about this year, but
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you that if Paris didn't have to field a roster last year, they wouldn't have because literally all they did was just get players who would take the minimum salary,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just not how you're going to build a team that's
Well, the
going to
thing is
contend for
like
majors.
one, they don't have a lot of funding to begin with. It's not
They don't have
like
a lot of brand.
true.
Like they
Like
don't like I rarely see them on Twitter. They don't post stuff to YouTube. It's like
yeah, they aren't doing it right, and it's kicking them in the ass. Like if they were like because you look at like you look at like even like Minnesota Rocker. Like take like what Midnight has done with Minnesota Rocker content side of that. Like they've got like you go out like at Champs last year, they literally had a camera in there or was it champs? I don't remember. No, it wasn't champs, but it was like it was some sort of major. I think they had like they all went to a bar to watch Minnesota Rocker play together, and there was like a camera in there that showed on the stream, and then like one guy like ripped his shirt off and stood in the bar. Like that'll forever be in my memory.
Oh yeah.
Like that is like that is ingrained in there, and
Yeah,
like it was like
that's a
live on
team
the
that I
CDL
wish would
stream.
get in the league. United has such a good like content team, and they do such a good job.
Well, the
I
thing is,
just
is
wish they
like
would get in the league.
I think United would be good to get in the league too. I mean, plus they do have like, you know, they were champs of the last CWL season with a
Yeah,
BZ,
think about that.
you know.
Clayster won 2 COD champs in a row and proceeded to get dropped by both the teams.
I know that's freaking crazy, right? That cracks me up, low key, and just that man's just getting like a shit stick. Oh man! And then when he played for NYSL last year, you could see him yelling at the other freaking players, like, "What the frick are you doing? Like, why didn't you do that? Like, get your crap
That right there comes
together."
down to NYSL trying to, build around him and not getting another at least one more veteran talent. Like
Mhm.
Clayster's all about teaching all the young kids how to play the
Mhm.
game, but he got stuck with 3 of them and he had no help. Like like I like that team. I really liked Hydra and Mac and Asim and all those guys, but
Mhm.
they needed at least one more like veteran
Yeah.
because
It's
it's
like it's
just
gotta be
like
like a
you have all
2-2
these young guns
balance.
that just want to run at people and
Mhm.
they don't they might not think about the game as well as Clay does. They don't have the experience obviously. It's just like for Clay, it's just you look at it, you see him playing, you just want to bash your head into a wall.
Yeah, true.
Like
It's just like, oh, come on, like, you know, because there's only so much teaching you can do, and like when you don't have like enough experience, because sometimes like you'll be like saying like, okay, do this, do this, do this, right? But like it's just one person saying it, right? Yeah, you
yeah,
got three like, young guns that are like, okay, but it's only you saying it. Like they want me to do this. But when you have two veteran, you know, super champ gamers, you know, pros telling you to do something, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll do that. Like
even if you
it's
had somebody like, even if you had a coach that was a veteran, like I know they had
yeah.
Revan, but like I haven't seen Revan coach. I haven't heard like I don't know how good he is as a coach.
Mm.
I don't think he's a bad coach. I don't think any of the coaches are necessarily bad, but like there's obviously coaches that are way better than others. Like I also don't think Cinder is a bad coach. And I have seen a bit of his coaching, but like personally, like the way I've been trying to learn Vanguard is I've been watching Rambo's streams when he streams scrims because
Mm-hmm.
he streams through Codcaster and he just talks about the game the entire time they're playing, and he
Yeah.
talks about what they're doing and like how they're doing it and like what he wants to see and all that. And
Mm-hmm.
I just listen to that and I'm like, this guy is probably the smartest COD player on the planet. Like Rambo is insanely smart. And I was just watching him and I was like, I think I've learned more from watching 2 Rambo streams than I've learned from watching any of the other pros. Like I'm so excited to see him like coaching Optic Texas this year because Rambo he is a genius. I mean he picks up on everything so fast and like his insight in the game is unbelievable.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I don't know. It's like one of those things where you're just gonna have to wait and like
Well, and
just
see, like
watch.
that's the whole thing I talked about. How if you have another coach that's a veteran, because Rambo is a veteran and he knows Scump super well. They know each
Yeah.
other. They have good chemistry, and
That's
they're both very insightful.
mm-hmm.
And Scump is in the same situation kind of as Clayster now because he has 3 young guns that he's
Mm-hmm.
you know teaming with. But the thing is Dashy and Illy have super good chemistry. They played S&D together for like 3 years,
Mm-hmm.
nothing but S&D. So they should be pretty good at S&D this year.
Oh yeah, for
Um,
sure. But the thing is like
and like
with
Ilya and Shotzi's work ethic is insane too.
well, yeah, but if
So,
you look at it, like Dashi is still a young gun, but he's like he's been in it. He's
oh
he's
yeah, he
been in
and
since
like
like at least
Shotzi
World
is
War
the
Two.
by far the biggest noob of the team.
Yeah, and that's
I mean,
I mean, and it's
Shotzi, like
Shotzi though. That's the thing. Like
yeah,
you
like
look at
Shotzi's the
him.
biggest noob, but he's insane at the game.
Yeah, like I'm just like it's their
Like
noob is
the way
one of
that
the
he picked
best.
up, the only person I've ever seen pick up the game faster than him is Formal.
But
I mean, it's
Formal's
just
just
unbelievable.
Yeah, dude, it's
Like
just crazy.
The way that Shotzi grew in just the course of a few months in
Oh
Modern
yeah.
Warfare was
Oh.
insane. Because like you got to keep in mind, all these other pros have been playing for years and years and years,
Mhm.
and they were getting better at the game just because they knew how to get good at the game. Shotzi was completely learning the game and then trying to get better at the game, and he ended up winning champs.
Mhm.
like like like
True.
Shotzi's insane,
Yeah.
and like Dashie and Ellie's work ethic is insane too. So I'm pretty confident with them.
Optic
I don't think
Dallas is
there's gonna be.
definitely gonna be. I feel like Optic Dallas will like give, you know, FaZe a run for their money this year.
I mean, they already have been in tournaments. I mean,
True.
they've already been giving them a run for their money. I mean, they're doing a good job, and Rambo's doing a good job with Dashie as well. Cause like there's been so many times that like Dashie's been accused of like slacking or being
Mhm.
late for scrims and stuff like that, and now Rambo just has the best. Like he's put in a policy where it's like if if you're late for scrims or whatever, like he's gonna fine you, and like
Mhm.
the money is not going to like Hex or Hastro. It's going in a pot so they can buy food. So every time you're late for scrims, you're buying somebody a steak, basically.
Pretty much.
And I think that's a good system too.
I
I mean,
think.
Rambo has made it clear that he's going to crack down on these guys and he's going to make sure that they are really good.
Well, the thing is like, you know, these guys, they have a lot of the teams, like you look at like the teams and they have like good chemistry with each other. They have a good time, and as long as they have a good time, that's usually like, as long as the good vibes are flowing, there's good gameplay. Like there's good
Yeah, and a
games. Like
lot
you
of that
play
comes
well.
from the fact that like basically all CDL pros are good friends with each other. I mean, because that's the thing, like, people see, like, some of the beef and some of the drama that happens in the CDL, but people also forget that these same pros that sometimes have beef with each other will just sit and play ace with each other for hours. Like, all these guys in the CDL are super good friends with each other, and so, like, every time that somebody switches a team, it's
Mm-hmm.
not, there's never really a chemistry question because
No.
usually they have at least pretty good chemistry with each other.
But yeah, like I don't know, man. I feel like as long as it doesn't happen, like with a lot of teams, like last year, there were so many roster changes. Every week, it was like a new
Oh, yeah.
one, and I think that sometimes that hurts teams more than it helps. You know what I mean? Like especially with like LA Thieves, like they had like
Yeah,
they
I was gonna
redid
say
the roster
LAFC.
by the end of the season. It's like, what the heck? And then you've
I was
got
gonna
Atlanta
say
FaZe. They
LAFC,
didn't make a
too.
single change, and they ended up winning. You know?
I was gonna say LA Thieves because it's like everybody made everybody made the joke that their new series was gonna be called Road to 100 roster changes, and it was kind of true. Like, I mean, it seemed like every time something would happen, or every time they play a league match, they drop somebody, and it's like, I it, it's hard to say if what was happening behind the scenes in all of it, but it's like you couldn't help but think that the more they changed their rosters, the worse it was getting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, and it, a lot of it's like, you know, hey, sometimes you just gotta let it like play out. Like a lot of them are like, okay, we're not performing. We gave this guy like a week. Now we're gonna kick him out and put someone else in. Like you gotta
Yeah.
give him like a couple. You gotta give him like at least a month. Like at least a
I mean,
month.
a lot of that could have been Slasher and JCap too, though, because
True.
Slasher and JCap are pretty good friends, and there's tons of accusations that they try to make a friendship league. So, I mean, you got to think about that.
True. 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 I don't know, man. Yeah, it's COD. Yeah, you know.
COD is gonna be COD, and that's why we love it.
Yeah, I love COD, bro. Speaking of which, speaking of COD,
Uh,
you know,
COD is life.
COD is life. Vanguard's been out for like almost 2 weeks now, I think,
Oh
right?
yeah,
Almost 2 weeks.
Friday only 2 weeks.
So it feels weird that it's only been out for like 2 weeks. It feels like it's been out for much longer, but I feel like it's just because I play it every day for many
Oh yeah, I've grinded
hours.
it so hard. I literally had my longest stream ever on launch day. I streamed for 17 hours.
Dude, I remember that. You pulled like an all-nighter and everything.
Oh yeah,
First
and
night
I was still
made you go to
vibing when it was
bed
like 8
and
a.m.,
eat.
dude. Oh, I had so much fun. I really like Vanguard pubs. I'm trying to get good at Vanguard competitive. Kind of suck right now, but
Hmm.
I'm working on it.
Well, the thing is I think I don't know how like I'm having the urge to go back to casting this year. It's been a while, but I think I might go
I'm
back to
telling you,
casting this
Tone,
year.
if there's ever like a Raw Nation tournament that I'm not in, we gotta cast it together.
I think so. But the thing is like not only do I want to cast like Raw Nation stuff, but I want to like cast like other leagues and stuff like that. Like I want to go back to caster tonage that I was during like MW. Like during MW, I casted like at least once a week
Oh yeah.
because I knew what I was talking about. In Cold War, I barely touched the game, and when I did touch the game, it was zombies, so I didn't know what the frick was going on most of the time. But I don't know. And then like now I'm on PC too, so it makes casting like 10 times easier, especially when you're like producing the casting, right? So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna like put my name back out there and get back into it because oh man, I have the urge to cast.
Oh, and we would definitely have the chemistry by then too, dude.
Oh yeah, if you wanted to join me for sure, but like I
Oh,
like
Cash said let's cast over him. That's a bet. Let's do it.
oh let's
Call up
go.
Cash Ego Chow everybody.
Yo, okay, okay, okay.
I mean, we would have the chemistry by then, though. I mean, by the time Raw Nation probably has a tournament that I'm not in, well, we'd probably be like 2 or 3 months into this, and
Oh
we'd
yeah,
be having a good time.
it's just like one
It
of
would
those
only make
things.
sense that we both cast.
Yeah, yeah, probably. I don't know. Well, like the last time we did like a tournament that was Call of Duty, it was me and Kichi, and we did pretty well together.
Oh
So
yeah, because you and Kichi have known each other
I mean,
forever, so that makes
Kichi and
sense.
I, she's one of the OGs. You know what I'm saying? Like she's one of the OGs for me. So yeah, us casting together was pretty like easy, you know. But I don't know, man. Like I am vibing with like the game in general too. Like
Oh
I
yeah,
like the
it's
amount that
the
I've.
most fun I've had pubs
Oh
since
yeah.
at least Black Ops 4.
Well, I already have like a day and 10 hour like a day and 10 hours in the game. I think I looked yesterday.
I
Could be a
think
little
I'm
bit more by
approaching
now,
2 or 3 days.
yeah. The only game that I've ever played more than this was BO4 when it came out. I had 2 weeks in the game before Christmas.
Oh, I might have that before Christmas, especially since season one's happening so quick.
Well, the thing is like when BO4 came out, it was a pretty dark time for me. I was going through it. So I would get home from school or practice, depends. Like for the beginning it was practice because it was during swim season. So I'd get home from practice at like 7 o'clock. I'd turn on my PlayStation, play until like 11 o'clock at night. So I'd play for 4 hours every single day. And sometimes I would get up half an hour early to play for a couple games before I went to school. And then on the weekends, if I didn't have a swim meet, COD all day, both days. Was I depressed? Maybe. Are we gonna talk about it? No. But I had like 2 weeks in the game before Christmas, and I was like, okay. So if I do the same thing with this Vanguard, with Vanguard, I I might need to go see a doctor.
I might need to go see a doctor.
BO4 was underrated, Mr. Burner. BO4 was a really really fun COD. Like I think it was one of my. It's definitely one of my favorites that I've like truly played. It's probably the most. That's probably the one I've grinded the most. Maybe other than like
Blackout was
Warzone.
a vibe.
Maybe the only thing I think I've played more than BO4 is Warzone, but at the same time, it's over the span of like it's on its like third year now. So
Yeah, that's another thing I have about BO4 is like I feel like if BO4 would have been able to achieve the vision they had for it, it would have been even better. Because their idea was to make Black Ops 4 like supported for like years and years, and that just didn't happen because of like Sledgehammer like screwing up with Raven, so Treyarch had to make Cold War and all that. And even with Blackout, like um, I don't know if you knew about this, Tone, but uh, the the whole time before Blackout came out, David Vonderhaar would always talk about like, oh, we had this name for Blackout that we wanted to call it, but we had to call it Blackout. They wouldn't let us.
oh yeah,
And
you told me.
yeah, the
Yeah,
original name for Blackout was Warzone.
yeah. Blackout, in my personal opinion, will always be better than Warzone, Mr. Burner. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't play enough Blackout to really give an opinion on it, but I did like the
I
map. I
played
did
a
like
ton
the
of
way that it
Blackout.
was. It wasn't super. Also, it was before crossplay, so there wasn't a lot of freaking hackers because I played on
Yeah,
PS4.
I that's why I say like I always say Blackout walked so Warzone could run because like Blackout was like Warzone just with not all of the expansion and like features that Warzone had,
Mhm.
and that's why Tone when I talk about uh the new Warzone map and I say it has Blackout vibes, I mean that in the absolute best way possible because I love Blackout. I had like almost 100 wins on that game, maybe more. I just had a ton of fun with it. Um, Blackout was really the first BR I ever got to play. Uh, and I grinded it a ton. I just had a lot of fun, and hopefully we can get back to that with Warzone. Hopefully, you and I can grind Warzone this year.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know, man. It just depends. I think I'm gonna grind Vanguard for a while, and then once the new map drops, I'll give it a shot. And if I get too angry, then I'm gonna go back to Vanguard.
If I get too angry.
I have anger issues. It's known,
Yeah,
especially with Warzone. So
at
you know,
Valorant ranked.
oh, not even Valorant ranked, regular like Valorant public, like unrated. Oh, bro, I oh that was a side of myself that I don't ever want to revive on stream ever again. Like I can get toxic in like S&D lobbies and stuff like that, but I'm funny about that. No, like in unrated, I literally threw my mouse over my monitor, and if it wasn't a corded mouse, it would have hit the like wall. Like it was bad. Like I have like physical anger. It's different than shit talking on like COD lobbies, but so I, man, I like sit here and like slap my mouse down on my like on my table. It's bad. Like I think I broke my mouse. Like my scroll wheel, it doesn't work properly anymore because of it. Like it was bad.
I I don't know if I could rage that hard at a game, but then again I have. But I mean, I feel you though. I mean, that's kind of how it was with Warzone. Like I don't know, like on the big Warzone map, I play so scared, ton.
Yeah.
I feel like every time I walk out of a building, I'm gonna get sniped. It's just because there's so many long sight lines, and I hope they have eliminated a lot of those in Vanguard. There's a lot of fundamental things that were just wrong with Warzone, and a lot of it just came down to the map. Because like I don't know why they put downtown where they did. Like downtown's not in the center of the map, but it's in a place where like most of the zones will end in town or in downtown.
Hmm.
But in like Black Ops 4, like the most congested places to be at were like construction and hydro dam and factory, but all those were on like the outskirts of the map. So you'd have to start there or fight in there a little bit and then come in where the zone would end in like a more open place. And if that was like how Warzone worked, I guarantee people would have a lot more fun with it. Because like the zone ends in downtown, and you got like 10 people just sitting on roofs waiting for each other.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just the way that the new map, like the way that the map is currently right now. It's been this map for since the game came out, and people know it so well. Well, like things have changed here and there, but nothing too like majored where it's like, oh, we actually like can't just sit on the top of rooftops now because we know that's like how to get kills. It's like, oh, we actually have to like spend time like playing the game and learning things. Oh, it's kind of weird. We can't just sit
Yeah,
in
that's
camp all
that's
the
how the
time.
blackout map worked. I mean, I had to learn the map, and I couldn't just sit somewhere and
Well, the
chill
thing
and
is
expect
that
to win.
the blackout map was also like it. I mean, you could just sit in a building, but there wasn't like any super like tower that you could stay. There was like one tower in the map.
The time to kill was also slower, so
Yeah,
it was harder to sit in a building because somebody
yeah.
could easily just burst in and kill you. You couldn't just melt them because you had a pre-aim. I mean, and you had to learn if you really wanted to win and drop a lot of kills too. You had to learn routes. I mean, you had to do that in Warzone, but like in Blackout, it was different. I don't know. I just feel like I'm always gonna be a Blackout fanboy, even if Warzone ends up being super good this year. I just enjoyed Blackout so much. I wish they would have been able to do more with it. But yeah, as far as Vanguard goes, actually Shipment is about to drop in like 10 minutes. I'm super excited for Shipment. I just hope shotguns don't ruin it. We don't need shotguns ruining Shipment.
What time does shipment come out today? Like, what time does the update drop?
Should be in like 10 minutes.
10 minutes? All right.
Yep.
Well, we got like 10 minutes left anyways. So, I mean, we've been doing this for like 50 minutes now. So we should kind of like, I don't know.
I mean, we don't always have to end it straight on the hour, but
I mean, we should start like, we still got one more topic left too.
yeah.
But I feel like we've kind of already touched on it. So maybe we'll talk about COD a little bit more. Oh, Inception. What was your first COD you ever played?
Black Ops 2.
Black Ops 2?
Yep.
Mine was World at War Zombies. That's the first COD I've ever touched in my life.
I started playing zombies too because of COD though.
Me too.
That's why I had literally okay. So before I played Black Ops 2, I'd never played a first person shooter.
Yeah.
I had literally never played one.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was like kind of into The Walking Dead, but not really. Like I didn't watch it all the time, but the whole like zombies idea like intrigued me.
Mm-hmm.
And then one time I saw an ad um on TV about Black Ops 2, and I saw it had zombies, and I was like, "Wait, I want to play this."
Uh-huh.
And then my mom got it for me for Christmas.
Mm.
But I technically wasn't a Christmas noob because I actually didn't play the game. I didn't play the game until probably like April or something like that. And I started playing with like a bunch of my friends that played
Mm-hmm.
with the other like racing games with me and stuff. And they just dragged me into pubs, dude. Like they didn't tell me what like how to play the game. Like they didn't tell me I could shoot bots to learn. They didn't tell me I could make classes. They just threw me in, and I'd go like 1 in 40 every game because I had no idea what to do. And then one of my IRL friends ended up coming over to my house. He was like, "Okay, listen, this is what you can do. You can go into custom games. You can play on any map you want. You can use any gun with any attachments you want. You can use any score streaks you want. You can play with bots and like shoot them and like learn how to like take gunfights, win gunfights, learn the maps and all that." And I was like, "Oh, this actually sounds fun." And I got hooked on that. And that from then on I've been playing COD.
That's that's pretty cool. But the funny fact, I think the funniest part of that entire story was the fact that you wanted your mom to get you the game for Christmas, and she got it for you for Christmas, and you didn't touch it for like what? January, February, March, April, for 4 months.
Oh, you want to know why? It was the same reason why I stopped playing for a couple months after I played it in April and got destroyed every game. It's because like one of my brothers wanted to play it because my brothers never played a first person shooter either, and they wanted to play it, and she got us Black Ops 1 and Black Ops 2,
Mm-hmm.
and for some reason we played Black Ops 1, and we loaded up like a campaign mission,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to play it and I didn't know how to shoot or anything, and I instantly was like, "Nope, I don't want to play this right now." And I didn't play it till like April.
That's funny. Yeah. See, the thing is like I didn't get myself into Call of Duty. My stepdad, like he like was really into gaming. Like he's the one like that like got me into gaming. I hate like admitting that fact, but I really don't like my stepdad. But neither here nor there.
Hey, I mean, it happened how it happened, though.
It happened how it happened. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about it, but it did.
It happened how it
Anywho, no, so they were like my two older step siblings. I have an older stepsister, an older stepbrother. They were downstairs playing zombie. Like my stepsister and my stepdad were playing zombies together in the living room, and I came down. I'm like, "Yo, what's this? It looks fun. Like I want to like join." Because like they had just like my mom and him just got like super serious. Like we moved in with them, and like I was like trying to bond with like my siblings that were I hated them at the time because I went from pretty much being an only child to having two siblings, a stepdad, and my mom was also pregnant. So I went from being an only child to having two siblings, one on the way, and then a stepdad. I was like, okay, I need to like figure something out. So I started to bond with them, right? And I was like, how do I don't know how. So we played. So they were playing COD. I'm like, hey, can I play? Can I play? And my mom wasn't home. She would have said no, but my stepdad was like, oh yeah, sure. And so I played. They were playing World at War
Just the
Zombies.
zombies for a few minutes.
Yeah. They I just like I did horrible. I didn't know what I was doing. I got super scared. And that same night, I remember this dream so vividly. Actually, it was more like a nightmare. So, you know how like so my grandparents have like a pretty big home because they had like 7 kids, right? So they have a um pretty big home and so in my dream, their home was set up like a zombies map. Like the doors had like, you know, like the sandbags and there were barriers and like the zombies were turning my family into zombies and I had to save them by killing all the zombies and I had to use my uncle's hunting equipment to do so. And it was just, oh my God. And I was like, this is me like 5 or 6 years old. So like,
You were writing the zombie story
oh
the whole
yeah, I
time.
was like,
Come on.
you know, like, come on. Like it was pretty intense. And yeah, that's how I started playing COD. And then I like eventually like my stepbrother and I would wake up like super early before our parents on like the weekends and we would play like BO2. We'd play like custom
Yeah,
we would be played custom 1v1s and he would beat me
it
every
was
freaking time.
destined for us to meet each other because we both started with zombies.
Oh yeah. Like he would beat me every freaking time. Alrighty, looks like we got like I looks like I got a question in chat. Oh shoot, let's go. What's up, Brendan? How you doing, man? Any opinions on challengers this year is what Cash asks. On like challengers is like how it's being run, who's in it, who do I think will
My
win.
opinion is that Cash better win.
Cash, you better win. Okay.
Nah, like I would love
Actually
to
no,
follow
I vote for
challengers.
I vote for my raw homies that I've known for like years and years and years on the winning of challengers, but you guys can come in second.
Here's the thing about challengers for me. I would love to follow challengers, but there's just so much that goes on at one time, and there's so many roster changes that can happen within like one challengers weekend that I'm just like, I try to follow it, and I'm like, what? I can't, dude. But like, if any of my homies are in challengers, obviously I'll follow them. So like the raw homies and like Cash and everybody, I will definitely keep up with them. And of course, Cash and his duo Edoy have been teaching me a little bit about competitive, so I'm learning a bit.
Yeah, you know
I'm
what?
having a
Like,
good.
you wanna know what, like my goal is? Is I want to cast like a challengers like day. Like I want to cast challengers at least once in my life, or
Hey,
like
yo, we got the raw homies and Cash. We could get both teams in a scrim,
I
and we
could,
could
I could,
cast
I
it.
could get, you know, like it could be, it could happen, it could happen. You know, I'm not like, you know, it's not like I'm trying to manifest anything or anything, but I kind of am. I kind of am
Yeah,
manifesting at
we
this
could
moment.
literally just have the two teams scrim each other as like a show match and broadcast it on the Raw Nation channel.
Alrighty, Rendon's got a question for us too. If FaZe is overtaken as the best team in the game, what team takes FaZe's spot? I think it's Optic Dallas. I feel like they have the
I'm
opportunity
gonna
to.
say them or Toronto Ultra.
Yeah. I mean, not knowing how these teams are playing together, I have not watched any of these teams play together yet, so this is just going based off of just like who's on what roster. But I feel like Optic
Yeah, and me
Dallas,
telling you everything.
yeah. I literally the only information I've gotten is from Deception and some from Twitter, but not very
Hey,
much.
I've watched a few scrims.
I
I'm
haven't
really
watched
connected.
any scrims at all. I just know the rosters and that's it. Not even all of them. Like I know like a few of them. But anywho, no, I feel like if anything it's Optic Dallas. FaZe, you know, they've got a pretty solid roster and like the brothers are back, so you know, cool shit, you know. You got the Tiny Terrors, but at the same time, like you look at the Optic Dallas. I mean, like their noob is Shotzi. Like they're like Shotzi's such an amazing player, and like that's
Yep.
their noob. Like it's one of those
Shotzi's the
things.
movement king of
Oh,
competitive.
oh yeah,
That man figures out every single movement possible.
yeah.
I love watching Shotzi play. I'm telling you, watching Shotzi play Rebirth is
Hmm.
one of the greatest things that I've ever been blessed with on Twitch.
Yeah,
Him
I like that.
watching him just move around and just kill people is unbelievable. It's so smooth. Oh my god.
But that's my that on that. So Deception. You know, the last thing that we were talking that I have on our thing. You know, we'll do this, and then we'll, you know, if you guys have any questions, we'll obviously like, you know, answer them. But the last thing like that we were going to talk about before we end this is where we want this to go, like where we want the Climb Together podcast to go as like a whole. So I'm gonna let Deception go first, and then I'll go, and then we'll, you know, see if there's any more questions, and then, you know, outro
Yeah.
it.
I just want the podcast to go as long as we want it to go, which hopefully is forever. I mean, obviously, like we want to grow in the process, but I don't think the growing or not growing will stop us from doing the podcast. I mean,
I feel like if we
this
just do
is,
it and have fun.
I mean, that's what it is. Like that's really like, I mean, obviously, like we grow, that's fantastic, but I mean, this is just super fun for us to do. I think. I mean, it's something that both of us have wanted to do, so it only makes sense that we did it, and hopefully it does become successful. Though, I mean, it'd
True.
be fantastic for us to do this every week and have increasing numbers of people show up, and
Well, yeah, I mean, like, what, right now
hopefully, like eventually we get sponsors and all that. Like it would be super fun to see that happen.
I mean, we're doing pretty well right now. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
I feel like we got quite a few people in here chatting and
Oh yeah.
whatnot. I mean,
Oh
I'm
yeah.
for this being the first episode, I'm super like over the moon. Like, this is more than I expected,
Well, I'm
honestly.
saying like this is just something that we started for fun, and
Mm-hmm.
it's always fun seeing a success story bloom out of
Just passion.
something you just decided to do
Yeah.
because you wanted to do it.
Oh yeah. You know, is that your closing sentence, Deception? I don't know where you
Yeah,
want to see this go.
I think that's I mean, I just want to see I just want us to keep doing it, and hopefully we grow off of it eventually,
Yeah.
and hopefully everybody enjoys it because I know it's been super fun just
Yeah.
doing it today.
Alrighty. Rendon has a question real quick before I get into mine. What team do you think is going to improve the most this year, and what improvement does that team make? I'm going to give that one to Deception because I don't freaking know.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say either Seattle Surge or London Royal Ravens.
Mm.
Or LAG. Honestly, like LAG, although LAG had some shining moments last year, they still were like a pretty terrible team overall.
Well, they had Chino last
I
year, so.
think their roster is insane. I think they have insane potential with that roster. As I said earlier in the podcast, Seattle forward phase and scrims. I mean, I know scrims don't mean everything, but that's a pretty good sign.
That is a good
And
sign.
of course, London have Trey Zero. I mean, Trey Zero is just insane.
Alrighty, so that's the answer to your question, Rendon. So where I want to see, this is me saying what I want to see, where I want to see Climb Together podcast go. You know, same Deception. I obviously want it to grow. I mean, if it does, it does. If it doesn't, it doesn't. This was so much fun. Like this is probably like one of the best times. Like this is probably one of like my top moments of my life. Is
This is super fun.
especially in like my content creating career, like
I'm very excited to do this every week.
yeah, so we're gonna, like, my goal, you know, every week Wednesdays, you know, I want us to bring on, you know, our homies, some people that we know from, you know, just gaming in general. Maybe eventually, hopefully you can get some, like, you know, COD pros on here, maybe some like other pros, maybe some casters, maybe some just like bigger content creators in general.
We want to see if Kichi can hook us up.
Uh,
Get App on here.
Ooh, I'd love to get Kichi on here, low key.
Oh yeah,
Not to
Kichi's
leak
got
it,
to be
not to leak anything, but
Kichi's got to be one of the first guests.
oh yeah, yeah. Come on, bro, it's Kichi. Anywho, no, but I see if Z-Laner can stop by. Ooh, okay, yeah.
Oh my, that'd be super fun.
But no, I think I just want, like, I don't know,
Get
like,
Hector on here. Oh no.
I just want to, like, and one of the other things that I really want to see, like, this podcast do is, like, really, like, get the Climb Together, you know, mission out there.
Exactly.
That you don't have to content create alone. Like, you don't have to, you know, not know what you're doing, not have any help. Like, you know, and the thing is like, I think one thing that we could do in like future podcasts is have like a question, like a stream question section where people in chat ask questions on like how to grow stream or how to grow YouTube or how to grow whatever, and we help the best we can. Obviously, we don't know everything. I mean, obviously we don't know everything because, well, we don't. But
I
I mean,
mean,
at the same
nobody
time,
wrote the book on streaming. It's like
true.
it's like how Hex talked about. Nobody wrote the book on how to run an esports org. Nobody wrote the book on how to be a streamer. So we're
Yeah.
learning with you.
I mean, it's like a trial and error thing. Like, okay, try this. If it doesn't work, well, then don't do it anymore. Or just, or do it and see if it works. If it doesn't work, keep doing it because it might work. It's worked for other
Yeah.
people. I mean, personally, I've done some things that have really worked, and I've done some things that haven't worked, but could in the long run. So it's just like, All right, another one for you. Deception. We're gonna do this last question, then we're gonna wrap it up. Who do you think is gonna shine the most individually this year, and why? In the CDL, for those of you that don't know. Deception. That's a you question.
I'm going with Trey Zero again.
Trey Zero.
I'm telling you, if you didn't watch Trey Zero playing Black Ops 4, that dude is goated.
All right.
He is by far the best EU player I've ever seen.
All right.
And I think
I'll
he
keep
will
that in mind. I'll keep that in mind. Alrighty. Do you want to do the outro, Deception, or should I do it? Because I did the intro.
we could both do it. We could just like both talk about, the
We'll
outro.
talk at the same time. Just
No, not at the same time. That's got to be a chemistry thing. We got to work on that.
all right. Yeah, you do the outro. And then I'll end it. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Do the outro.
it's been the first episode of the Climb Together podcast. I mean, for everybody that's in the stream or everybody that's watching on YouTube, if you haven't subscribed to Tone, because that's where the YouTube video is going to be uploaded to, definitely go subscribe to her, because that's where we're going to have them reside. It's like the Flycast residing on Maniac's channel. This was Tone's idea.
They will reside on there exclusively until I can figure out how to upload it to other forms. So just like, once I figure that out, then we'll have more things.
Hey,
but for
we
now,
already have 2 different forms of the podcast.
True. You do be right though.
But yeah, like anybody that's if anybody's watching this on YouTube, if you have any questions, it really doesn't matter at all what it is. Whether it's about gaming, whether it's about streaming, whether it's about like anything, just put them in the comments, and we might pick a few.
Yeah, to answer
for the
live
next
on
podcast.
next time. Yeah.
And if you're, you obviously you can ask questions live on Twitch. By the way, go give Tone and I a follow. So
yeah, all the links and everything down in the description, guys. All the links, and if you're watching on YouTube, down in the description. If you're watching on Twitch, well, you're here, so
yeah,
you already know.
If you're here and you haven't followed us yet, I don't know what you're doing. But yeah, it's been a good time, Tone. I've had a lot of fun.
Alrighty, guys. That is the end of the first Climb Together podcast. I just want to say thank you to everybody that came in the chat personally. I know Deception said that earlier, but I want to thank, people. Thank you to everyone that stopped by, everyone that did things, everyone that asked questions. Thank you so much. It keeps us going. But yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Peace.